So now you've tapped into one of my favorite philosophical topics, which is existentialism. This is going to be all about looking into who you are. We don't ever really get a chance to kind of stop and think about ourselves, so this is going to be your chance to do that. Over the next 2 weeks, you're going to explore some really intense topics. One of the topics as a whole is just how existentialism came into being. By definition, existentialism focuses on you and how you exist in this world and how people kind of create meaning around them. There's a really good clip out there. I think it comes from the show. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, it's on Netflix. It's got that. I remember none of this. I remember none of this. It's going to bother me. He's that guy from Britain. After Death, I think, or something like that, where someone is like, hey, you're an atheist, so how do you have meaning in life if your God hasn't given it to you? And he says, I give meaning to it. I'm the authority behind it. And I'm like, wow, he's talking existentialism. And she was like, but if there's no life after death, I wonder if that's the name of the title. If there's no life after death, what's the point of living? And he said something to the effect like, if you already know with 5 minutes into the movie you're not going to like it, you just turn it off. He's like, or is there a movie you really like? You know how it's going to end. Why watch it again? And it's because it's an experience. It's a lived experience. And we are creating meaning by just living. And that's a big theme within existentialism. So for the first part, you guys are going to kind of explore yourself. You're going to kind of explore the afterlife a little bit, or you're going to kind of just look at your authentic experiences and how you live. And you might opt to decide to just kind of journal and figure out who you are as a person. So we have some really interesting topics for you guys to look at this week. So as I said before, this is a movement that starts in the mid-1960s, the 1950s, 60s, 40s. Officially, but it has roots as far back as medieval philosophy. But basically, through World War I and II, humanity is shook. It's just like, oh my God, what just happened? We just dropped a bomb on somebody. What is that bomb? And do we have any more of those? Is there a second, third, fourth, fifth one coming? It really just shocks humanity to its core. It really questions our existence as a people. Some of the key figures you're going to be seeing is Soren Kierkegaard, Jean-Paul Sartre. They're going to have some stuff for us. Another one that you're going to run into is Edmund Herschel, who is going to talk about bracketing your life off and how we see experiences. For example, this is a picture of Kurt Vonnegut. This is a very famous photo for his time, when existentialists would use this as an example, as here's a man who's just existing with his family. But she's like, I bet he's thinking about our beautiful family. Is he? Do we know what someone else is thinking? And would we ever be able to experience what they are personally thinking about? It's pretty intense. So, for example, he says in this photo, he was actually thinking about the war and the bomb and the industrialization, the factories and losing their jobs. He said he lived in a time when you either went to war or you went to factory to work. That was life. Countries had to rebuild themselves. And to do that, they needed soldiers and they needed factory workers. And war and manufacturing were the big topic. So he's like, man, imagine being, his kid and knowing that his future was going to be preset for him to do this. So it really starts to weigh on him. He gets into a depression state. It was pretty intense for him. His name's Kurt Vonnegut, if you want to look him up. So again, this week, you're going to just explore what your choices do for you. Like, how are you who you are? Is it based on the choices you make? Or is it choices other people are making about you? So this is a really interesting week. I won't keep you much longer. Go ahead and go over there and take a look at your assignments. And of course, let me know if you have any questions about them.